Alright, fellas, so Variety Scout Lance and Dragonair, they're going to be dropping tomorrow as of the time of uploading this. My bad for not having a video out yesterday. I was pretty busy yesterday. I had some stuff I was doing. Anyway, I digress. We're going to be looking at if this unit is valuable to summon or not, and out the gates, I'm just going to say no, they're not. As usual, a lot of these units I really don't recommend people summoning for. Lance is definitely one of those units that is clearly in the no to summon for. Let's go over his kit first, and then we'll go into a little bit more detail. So, he's a tech-type Dragon Sync pair, right? And he's actually our first Pokefair unit that's got turned into a Variety Scout. Like before, it was mostly just 3 stars, 4 stars, general pool 5 stars, all of that, right? Well, actually, no, Lucas. Never mind, I'm a liar. Lucas was technically the first. Oops. Whatever, I guess I'll lie then. His stats look pretty good. He's got 300 special attack, 600 HP, 331 speed, so he's meant for like damage purposes, it looks like. He's got Dragon Shift, Shocked Hit freebie 4, 50% chance of applying the free move's next effect to the user when its attack move is successful against a paralyzed opponent. And then Afflict Dragon type rebuff down. Lowers the target's Dragon type rebuff by 1 rank the first time the user's Pokemon uses a status move targeting the opponent each battle, and the effect can only activate once per battle. So, pretty good, right? Able to lower Dragon rebuff, not bad. He's got Thunder Wave here. 90% accuracy, leaves a target paralyzed, able to activate the Shock freebie 4. Dire Hit all plus, so as a tech he's able to max all allies crit, which can be very, very useful in like a gauntlet scenario, or maybe you're wanting to utilize the rebuff and you don't have a crit buffer as a support or something, so maybe you can bring him and he'll be good there, right? Could be good. And then his trainer move here is reducing the user's sync move countdown by 1, raises the user's special attack by 4, raises the speed of all allied sync pairs by 2, raises the accuracy of all allied sync pairs by 1, and the user takes damage equal to 20% of its remaining HP. And he's got Hyper Beam, of course, for damage. My question is why they even made him a tech to begin with. Like, I get he does a lot of stuff here that's like tech related, but all the stuff you could definitely put in strikers, right? Or whatever. I mean, like a Dire Hit all plus, Classic Blue has it. Thunder Wave, many strikers can apply a status condition by any means, not just like a utility move here. And then he's more just damage based with Hyper Beam and this high of a special attack stat, right? So I mean, come on, let's be real. This guy could have definitely been a striker, but he's not, so it's whatever. He's got the Tech Sync nuke here. The attack power is increased whenever the target is paralyzed. That's good, right? My problem with this unit comes not from like his damage or anything, because he looks like he's going to be impressive. I can go over the grid here in a bit. But the big problem with me with this unit here is that like the big part of him is the Dragon rebuff, right? Lowering a target's Dragon rebuff is definitely pretty big for every Dragon type damage dealer in the game. But one problem is that you're going to be dealing with is that if you put him on a team with Lucas, is that you are going to either be using one of them as your main damage dealer, or both, I guess, or you're not going to have a support unit, right? It's one of the two. And where if you don't have a support unit, the longevity of the team is not there, and if you're using them as the main core, then that limits their ability to work with other units. The point of rebuff is to not only increase your damage, but to increase the damage of all of your allies, right? It's meant to help like the entire team. Lance here is only going to either be helping out himself and Lucas, or is going to be hindering the team, because then at that point you're not going to be able to have a support. Because the team build would either be like, for example, we'll say, I don't know, Skyla, Cyrus, and Lucas. Alright, you got your Dragons up for Cyrus, you got your support for tanking and healing and longevity, right? Replace Skyla with Lance here, and suddenly Cyrus loses access to his HP healing and potions and whatnot, and your whole team loses access to being able to take attacks really, really well, right? Thunderwave helps with that, but it doesn't like remove the possibility. His stats here are not even 200 in the defenses, right? He's not going to be tanking well. Lucas, let's see. I'm pretty sure Lucas's stats are a little bit better, but they're nothing to... Yeah, no, they're worse. They're actually far worse. Even at level 150. Yeah, they're still quite a bit worse. So yeah, your team is not going to be doing well with this Dragon rebuff. It's just a worse version of Zone at that point, because it can't help out a lot of allies. It can only help out really Lance and Lucas himself. So that's a big problem with this, and Lucas is just an outright better unit, so if you want to summon for a Dragon type unit to help out your Dragon type team, go for Lucas instead of Lance, right? A lot more valuable in my opinion. Dire Hit All is great. You know, this whole kit he's got here helps him out with like support, Thunder Wave, and all of that stuff to keep it from the enemies dealing damage. Dire Hit All Plus in order to, you know, help out allies that can't buff their own crit or are too slow to buff their stats or something like that. And raising speed of all allies is always nice, right? But it's not enough in order to actually deal with the fact that your team is going to be just very frail overall, right? And then Lance, also consider the fact he's a Variety Scout unit releasing now. I did the same argument for Agatha, where you have all of the Tapus releasing around these units, and they're just so much better in every aspect than these guys are. Not that Lance and Dragonair are bad, or Dragonair are bad, but they're just not as valuable, not even close to being as valuable as Signusuit Acerola, Signusuit Mina, Signusuit Hao, Signusuit Lana. These units are all definitely a lot more valuable, in my opinion, than these Variety Scout units here. Variety Scouts, again, they need a revamp. They need a massive revamp. They're kind of a problem. He's good, but there's a problem. But let's look at the grid. So, 1 out of 5. Again, consider the fact that with Variety Scouts, you either got to summon more on the banner, which is just a waste, in my opinion, or you got to candy the unit, which, if you're candying a Variety Scout unit, you're not getting a big reward for your candy. But I digress. 1 out of 5, he's got nothing much here. Just quick cure, some special attack nodes, all that. 2 out of 5, we got Natural Remedy, Paralysis Energy 1, 10% power buff, Atmospheric Acceleration, which, this is just another thing, right? Well, actually not even another thing. You want weather effects. Where are you going to summon weather? Why do you want weather? Lance doesn't really need weather in any aspect. I mean, of course you could bring like a weather support like Signusuit Chris, which could help out his damage on her own, just indirectly, but I don't know why you even have this. Anyway, First Aid 4, this is, okay, I admit this is solid for longevity, same with Quick Cure and Natural Remedy and all that, but First Aid 4, if you're going 2 out of 5, then sure, you could pick it up, but if you're going 3 out of 5, then you're going to want to go for other stuff, right? Because at 3 out of 5, Static Shock, Brain Power, Paralysis Energy 3, Thunder Wave Go Viral. Go Viral is a big one. Ramp Up on the trainer move is a big one too. Sync nodes. And you're already out of energy and you can't even connect anything, right? So going for, it's going to be pretty difficult to even try to go for, damn. Wow, okay. It's going to be pretty difficult to even go for First Aid 4 because you got all these other nodes you need. You need to pick up Static Shock for the nuke. You need to pick up Brain Power for the nuke. That's a big one. Then Sync nodes, Paralysis Energy 3, right? There's a lot of stuff you want to go for that you just can't get. You can't pick it up because you need to go for the nuke. Which, if you're going for utility, I guess, then you could pick up, I don't know, let's see. You could pick up something like this. Or just that, true. And then go for maybe First Aid 4 here. Atmospheric Acceleration could be a good one. If you don't want to go for that, then you can pick up the train move NPR, which can help allies speed. Sorry about that little cut there. But, yeah, he's got the utility grid here. Let's see. You go for Quick Tempo as well, I think. Nope, you can't go for that. You can't go for that without sacrificing something else. Anyway, whatever. I digress. You could go for utility grid, but it really just does not work out for him. He's not really meant to be super utility based. They've really built his entire grid mostly for the fact of just doing a sync nuke. Which, at that point, you should have just made him a striker, which would have honestly helped him, I think, a little bit more, in my opinion. Just having another striker would have been a little bit better than having a tech unit, even with a tech nuke and whatnot, but still, whatever. Crap, I didn't mean to do that. It's not, fuck it, you know what, fuck the grid, fine. It's not that the unit is bad, it's not that Lance and Dragonair here are bad, but it's just the fact that, like, there's so much more valuable stuff releasing around these units. Variety Scouts need a complete rehaul, in my opinion. They're not near valuable enough. The big value that comes with units is either the rates of pulling them or the value of the unit. And the rates for these units is the same as it is for Poke Fairs and seasonal scouts and stuff like that. So the values for the banner is already not there. And the units are on the tier of general pool units. The only difference is that they're not available in the general pool. They are limited, which in my opinion is just stupid. It's really stupid because why are you going to release these units that people aren't even going to summon for, right? The good thing about Variety Scouts, as someone in my comments mentioned, thank you for mentioning that, is that you get alts of characters that would not previously receive an alt, right? Like Agatha, no one's going to summon for any version of Agatha, so they just made her a half-assed Variety Scout, which is nice for Agatha fans because, you know, all two of them, all like 2.5 Agatha fans that get this Agatha and Arbok sync pair here, right? It's nice for them. And people who like Lorelei, you would think she'd get an alt, right? But clearly not. She gets another shitty Variety Scout unit, but I digress. And Bruno and whatnot, all these characters are getting the Variety Scouts, which is nice. Makes it, and they're not too bad. I'm not going to say these units are bad. These units are not bad. Lance is not a bad unit at all. Like, if Lance, or just any of these Variety Scout units were a general pool unit, I would be singing a whole different tune. I would be. I would be praising these units. I would be very, very happy with what they're doing. But they're not. They're limited, so it's kind of a problem. But again, as I was saying, they do give characters who would not receive other sync pairs, maybe outside of like battle point units and whatnot, maybe the Lodge. But Lodge for like Agatha is going to be in like 5 years, dude. Good luck. But outside of that, like, these characters are not going to receive alts, so the Variety Scouts are a good opportunity to give these characters alts, but they're doing it poorly just because of how limited they are and how lackluster they are. Like, in my opinion, the best Variety Scout unit is still, or units, is still the, you know, trio that we got beforehand, where it was, the Fire, Electric, and Water duo with the, you know, Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon, right? Lucas, Lyra, and Chris. They were the best because they had infinite terrain, they had solid nukes, they had good utility, they were solid overall, right? They were honestly, in my opinion, probably the most valuable. Sorry about that, but it's not that they were super valuable to begin with, but they were the most valuable out of all the ones that they've released so far. I just feel like we're getting worse in quality, right? But anyway, I digress. You know my stance. Don't summon for Variety Scout Lance. He's not really too valuable. Maybe if you have paid gems, 7,500 gems for a Lance unit, maybe you find it worth it, but overall, I don't think it is nowhere near worth it compared to whatever else we're getting this month, right? You know, especially like comparing it to Sigma Super Renegade's rerun, or Cynthia's rerun, and all the Pokefair units we're getting here this month as well, and have already received, right? So, yeah. That's my stance. I don't think you should summon for this banner here. Definitely save your gems. They're not really that useful. There's not a lot of stuff that makes them unique and whatnot. Of course, if you're a Lance fan, go for it. I already know who's going to be doing that. But anyway, yeah. I'll see you all later. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me know if you're summoning for Lance. And yeah, I'll see you all later.